as we finish the first quarter. Heat lead by 2. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output from both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position at the half. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Well, I love the way they're pushing the tempo, beating the defense down the floor, filling the lanes, finishing with authority, Ernie, getting to the rim and finishing hard.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, they're getting beat up on the boards, Ernie. Woo. Smack them around. And you know the coach is unhappy about it, because I'm unhappy about it, Ernie. I'm sure he's in the locker room right now saying, hey, we can bounce back in the second half. You need to dig deep, show some pride.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Ball game here. Heat lead by 3. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Hassan Whiteside.
And he's had a very good night shooting the basketball, a little over 50% from the field, and a lot of those shots have come against some tight D. That shows the level of his focus and consistency.
Folks, for Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone. Head up 2. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. It was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. They took over in the second quarter, building their lead up to 10 points by the half and looking very much like a team that is determined to turn this game into a laugher. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times, it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Phoenix?
To me, they looked out of sync shooting the basketball. Under 40% for the first half. Some of it was poor shot selection, but mostly it just looked like they were out of rhythm. For the second half, they need to push more for buckets in transition. Get to the foul line a little bit more. Try to get back in the flow.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
Going after this from the Target Center. Up for Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone. They talk things over during the break. Their transition game has been in full effect. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. It's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They have a nice 7-point lead. And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
The speed they're playing with has been fantastic. They're pushing the ball in transition and catching the defense. That's snapping, Ernie. Anyway, a huge chunk of their offense has come on the break. They've got a nice lead, but they shouldn't slow anything down. I say keep doing what you do.
How about you, Kenny? What'd you think about Memphis?
I think they're giving this game away because of their turnovers. I mean, you may not control everything that happens out there, but you do control how much you value each possession. I think coming out of the break, they need to be more efficient to close the gap in the score.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
It's the Nets. They lead by 1. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. They never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the flow of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite
For
conference.
Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.